Hi there, Robert here. Today we're going to be talking about Tech Talks. Today's subject will be streaming devices. I'm making this video to help people understand what kind of streaming device they might need, or they can probably upgrade or downgrade depending on their situation. For me, I have a PlayStation 4 and then a smart TV, and then I have a cell phone. And that's all I really need. Of course, I have my desktop system, and I occasionally will watch it on there too. But I go back and forth from seeing my mother to my father. So at the times when I'm visiting both of them, I usually take my cell phone, but I also take my laptop too, because a lot of times I don't have access to their own TV because they're doing their own thing. So when I'm in their guest room just staying for a while, at my mother's I actually have my own computer in there, so I usually use that because I have a really big screen on that. But when I'm at my dad's, I use, he has a TV in there, but it's not a smart TV, so I sneak one of these on here. It's a Roku stick. I originally was using a Chromecast here, but I don't know, I left the Roku there, and so I bought a Chromecast. They both work. I love them both get AAA service out of them, and so that's what I use mostly for to go. Primarily I use my cell phone. Where I work, there's Wi-Fi, so I'm a bad employee. I watch videos while I'm working, so yeah, I use my cell phone, and I usually carry a charger with me because there's an outlet right next to my workstation, which was probably a bad idea when they set up those workstations. And for a situation where you're on the go a lot of times these streaming sticks are great. Tablets are awesome as long as you have a relatively new tablet. The drawbacks of buying an older one or an old used one is that they don't support that wide range of apps that are available out there. Like this tablet, this iPad here, it doesn't support Sling. Like the company Sling never made an app for my version of the iPad, so I can't get Sling on it. But I can get Netflix and Hulu on it because they existed when the iPad came out, and they made apps for it. But they're older apps. They're not the newest ones, so they don't have all the latest features and usability that the new ones have. But in the case of my cell phone, it's brand new-ish. This is actually my older one. But in the case of my cell phone, I can get any app I particularly want, and then as long as I have Wi-Fi, I can view it. If I really wanted to, I can use up my mobile broadband, but I don't really want to. So there's that. If you're a big family and you have multiple TVs in the house, but usually only one gets used, and there's a fight about, I want to use this, and I want to do this, and I want to watch this. Probably the best advice I can get you as a parent or guardian is to buy some of these streaming sticks. These streaming sticks you can plug into any HDMI capable device, which if you have a flat screen TV, there's no problem with that. You could get a gaming console. I would try to stay away from the older ones like this Wii U or the PlayStation 3 or the 360, mostly because not all the new games come out on them, so you're kind of wasting the money if your kids want to play the new games. But if you already have one of these things and they usually just sit there and not get used, you could move them to the other television and hook it up, and then the kids can go to that one to watch their content, because these are capable of running Hulu and Netflix, and some are even able to do Sling. So that's a good a good use of them. So for a case of if your kid has a your old cell phone, go ahead and just let them use the Netflix or Hulu app, but don't have any cellular carrier on it. If you're not going to be using the cell phone and it's just sitting in a drawer, it's okay to let them use it. You could turn on parental controls on a cell phone so you can turn off like the web access so they can't look up things that they probably shouldn't have in the beginning or got dared to. There's a lot of kid-friendly tablets out there that can do streaming as well with the parental controls, or you can just get them on an older tablet. But be aware of the older stuff. A lot of times they don't support a lot of newer services, such as Sling. Sling's actually a quite new service compared to Hulu and Netflix. And there's a lot of other services that are quite new, and they're not available for these older devices. So it's probably best to always try the new ones out on the market. In the case of these streaming sticks, they don't go out of date too quick, but eventually they kind of get left behind. In the case of this Chromecast, they have already released a new Chromecast, but the nice thing is that your applications and software on the Chromecast doesn't really get out of date, because a lot of the information comes from your streaming device, such as your cell phone or tablet. They bring the information to the Chromecast through your Wi-Fi network. So if you want to have something that lasts a long time and it's relatively cheap, these things are actually quite inexpensive. You can get a couple handfuls for $100. You can probably get, I think, 4 of them with $100, and they can do just more than just video. You can actually stream music like through Spotify, so it's more capable than it seems. So if you have like a really nice surround sound system down in your basement, and then you have a or if you have like a TV with a really good speaker bar, but the TV only does what it's plugged into, you can plug one of these Chromecasts in and then just play the content through your phone, and that would be a great idea. I use that idea for my living room. I have a Chromecast hooked up, and I let people hop onto my Wi-Fi, and they all create a little playlist system. So the next time when the song ends, the next person can play their song on their phone on my entertainment system, and we can all listen to the music together, and we get to all share it together. And there's no hassle of unplugging a jack or plugging another jack in, or desyncing your Wi or your Bluetooth and letting someone else resync their Bluetooth up to your stereo. Now, with all this said, really anything on the market, if you're buying brand new, will work with your situation. It's really just based on your budget. These are meant for low budget people, while something like a console is meant for something where you're going to be investing money into it, like buying games and paying for online services if you wish. Or if you're doing something like the road of the tablet, you have to consider how long is this tablet going to be supported. Is the apps that I want to use on it supported in the case of an older one? It varies, but it depends on your situation and how you're using it. If you got a game console and all you're going to do is watch Netflix on it, it's actually a waste of money. You instead should get something like this for about $40, and you can do Netflix as much as you want, and you don't have to pay into it. Unlike a console, in order to make a console worth it, you have to be buying games, and you have to be enjoying the games and using most of the majority of its features. And cell phones are, if you really just got a cell phone just to talk, but like in like this phone, it's just meant for talk. You can do texting on it, but if you got a cell phone that's just for talk, then it's just for talk. If you got a cell phone just for Netflix, then it's a cell phone just for Netflix. But you just paid like $500 for this nice smartphone, and all you want to do is this and occasionally Netflix. I don't think that's really worth it. But if you got something like a tablet and then you had something like this, I think that would be worth it, because even though you're separating the two devices separately, your phone and your tablet, the tablet has a lot bigger screen, so you can actually enjoy the content coming from it, unlike a cell phone. In most cases, they're very small. They're easy to break in your pocket in situations like that. So if you just have already, for the older people out there that usually only have these type of phones, if you're just using your phone for talk, I recommend just to keep your phone. Invest into a tablet, because then you get the larger screen to see the displayed image, and then you also get that smartphone capabilities with apps. That's mostly what all I have to talk about, so thanks for listening. Next time I'll try to bring in some more props. I feel like I didn't have enough.